Julian Araujo has already won the hearts of the Celtic faithful, and now he's got the entire Europa League talking. But that's not all. Celtic are keeping a close eye on one of the SPFL's most exciting young defenders, and there's a big update on Luis Palma's future at the club. It's been a busy 24 hours in the world of Celtic, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Julian Araujo's stunning late winner at Rugby Park hasn't just got Celtic fans buzzing, it's now got the attention of UEFA themselves. The official Europa League account gave Araujo a shout-out after his incredible 97th minute strike sealed a dramatic 3-2 comeback win over Kilmarnock on Sunday. And let's be honest, it was some finish. Celtic were 2 goals down at half-time, things looked bleak, but a much improved second-half performance turned the whole game on its head, and it was Araujo who delivered the killer blow with a thunderous effort that sent the Celtic end absolutely wild. What makes this even more special is that Araujo hasn't even featured in the Europa League yet this season. He only arrived on loan in January, but he's already been registered for European competition, meaning he'll be available as Celtic return to continental action this week. Attention now turns to Thursday night, when Celtic face Stuttgart in the first leg of their Europa League tie. The German side will provide a stern test, but Celtic will take enormous confidence from Sunday's comeback and the growing impact of their January additions. There's a real sense that Araujo is thriving in his new surroundings. His celebrations after the winner, racing towards the supporters and soaking in every single moment, said it all. He looked every inch a player who is embracing the club, the occasion and the pressure that comes with it. Being singled out by the Europa League account this early in his Celtic spell only adds to that feeling. Moments like this have a habit of accelerating connections between player and support, and right now Julian Araujo looks like he belongs here. Now for the main story, as Celtic are keeping a close eye on Dundee defender Luke Graham, with interest in the 22-year-old starting to build ahead of a potential summer move. The young centre-back has already been linked with both Hearts and Aberdeen, but Celtic are also understood to be monitoring his situation closely. With defensive recruitment expected to be on the agenda at the end of the season, Graham is emerging as one of the most talked about young defenders in the Premiership. And it's easy to see why. Graham has been outstanding for Dundee this season, making 30 appearances in all competitions and chipping in with 2 goals. He's established himself as a key figure in Stephen Pressley's backline and has been one of their most consistent performers all season. Born in 2004, he's still only 22 years old and is regarded as a strong, physical defender who is completely comfortable dealing with the demands of senior football. His development over the past 18 months has been remarkable. Before nailing down his spot at Dundee, Graham spent time on loan at Falkirk, where he played a significant role in their promotion from the Championship. That spell was massive for his development, giving him regular minutes and real responsibility before returning to Dens Park ready to step up. He's done exactly that, and the form he's shown has naturally attracted attention from clubs higher up the table. According to reporter Pete O'Rourke, Celtic are among those watching closely as the summer approaches, with Rangers also mentioned as potential suitors. Whether that interest develops into something more concrete remains to be seen, but with multiple clubs circling, Luke Graham's future is shaping up to be one of the most interesting stories to follow over the coming months. Hopefully he's not the only SPFL talent Celtic are keeping tabs on. In other news, Kilmarnock manager Neil McCann wasn't happy after Sunday's match, and now a surprise pundit has stepped up to shut him down. Here's what happened. The game was level at 2-2, Celtic were pushing hard for a winner, and the officials confirmed there would be 7 minutes of added time. Araujo then found the net in the 97th minute, not the 98th, as Kilmarnock would like everyone to believe, to complete the comeback. Afterwards, McCann said he was unsure where the officials had found the added time from. Obviously forgetting, of course, the substitutions, the goals, the injuries, and the time wasting from his own side. Chris Boyd then jumped on the bandwagon on Sky Sports, joking that the 4th official held up a board that said, "Play until Celtic score." Lawrence Shankland and Steve Clark apparently found that hilarious. But here's where it gets interesting. Ewan Cameron, speaking on the new STV radio football show, has come out and backed Celtic entirely. Now, Cameron is a Hearts fan, so this is no Celtic sympathiser here. He watched his own side fall to a 4-2 loss at Ibrox after taking the lead twice. And still, he stuck up for Celtic in the whole added time debate. He said he watched the entire game and guessed before the board went up that it would be between 6 and 7 minutes. He said Neil McCann doesn't have a leg to stand on with his post-match comments. There were so many stoppages and injuries. He wouldn't have been surprised if it had been even longer than 7 minutes. McCann has got no grounds to moan and complain, he said. Anyone who actually watched that game knows exactly what Cameron is talking about, but certain people are more than happy to peddle a false narrative. Nothing new there. In other news, there's a really positive update on Celtic striker Johnny Kenny, who is out on loan at Bolton Wanderers. Kenny made a deadline day switch from Celtic to Bolton back in January, a move designed to give him consistent minutes after a difficult stop-start spell in Glasgow. He's now settling into life in England and has already made his first impression. He returned from injury to make his Bolton debut against Lincoln City on Saturday, coming off the bench for the final 25 minutes. And despite the limited time on the pitch, his manager saw enough to be genuinely excited about what Kenny can bring. Bolton boss Stephen Schumacher has been quick to publicly back the young Irish forward, and his words are a real confidence boost. He told the Bolton News that Kenny doesn't strike him as a player who lacks confidence at all. They only had him at the training ground for 3 or 4 days before Saturday, but he came on and made a really good impact. Schumacher said when he spoke to Kenny in the summer, he seemed like a bright lad who understood the game, knew his strengths and what he could bring to the team. They didn't manage to get the deal done then, but when they spoke again in January, he didn't seem lacking in confidence at all. The Bolton manager said it just seems like Kenny played in a team at Celtic who had a really difficult season with 3 different managers, and that's not easy for a young player trying to lead the line at such a big club. He said they're just happy to have him. He's enjoying it, settled in with the lads fine, and he thinks he'll be a good player for them. What's often forgotten is Kenny's loan spell at Shamrock Rovers, where he scored freely and even found the net in European competition, showing the instincts and composure that convinced Celtic to give him the chance in Glasgow. Now, with a fresh environment and a manager publicly backing him, Kenny has everything he needs to rebuild momentum. If he can play a part in Bolton's promotion push and rediscover his scoring touch, he'll certainly have options come the summer. Lastly, there's a notable update on Luis Palma and his Celtic future. The winger has made it pretty clear he would prefer to stay away from Celtic, admitting he hopes to remain in Poland beyond the end of the season. Palma was sent out on loan last summer by Brendan Rodgers, joining Lech Poznan with an option to buy included in the deal. Since then, the Polish side have repeatedly said they'd like to keep him long term, but only if they can renegotiate the agreed fee. That figure is understood to be around £4 million, a sum that would comfortably smash Lech's current transfer record and has been described internally as unrealistic under the current terms. So discussions are expected to centre on whether a compromise can be reached in the summer. Palmer still has 2.5 years remaining on his contract with Celtic, but he's now spoken openly about his desire to stay in Poland. He said he hopes to stay at Lech for a long time, but it's not just his decision. He's doing his thing day by day and is very happy about it. All he can do is keep doing that, but not everything depends on him. He also acknowledged he's been a substitute in recent matches, saying that's the manager's decision, but he says he always has the team's best interests at heart and is working hard to get his place back. That's football, he said. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.